Innovation, a scientist whose work demonstrates how technology can solve some of society's most pressing challenges. Dr. Maria Nalago Kanyama is an accomplished researcher, artificial intelligence specialist, and advocate for responsible technology adoption. Here to present her take on the Namibia AI strategy, please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Kanyama.
By the way, it's not my take, it's the National AI Strategy. Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maria Nalago Kanyama, and I am a researcher at the National Commission for Science, Research and Technology, and I'm here to present the Namibian National AI Strategy, which is the progress update. So it's not the final output, so we are still working on it. So this work was mandated by the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport, Arts and Culture, and led by the NCRST with guidance from the National AI Working Group and the technical input from the Technical Advisory Committee with the support of various national stakeholders engagement that has been happening. So today's presentation, we are just going to look at how the National AI Strategy process came about and what evidence and reports are informing the National AI Strategy, and then what has been completed so far, and the emerging themes that are coming out from the stakeholder engagements, and the next step towards the whole validation and finalization. But before I move on to the Namibian National AI Strategy, I'm going to give you the continental context, which is the Africa's AI direction, which was adopted in 2024, which provides a shared direction for African countries to hasten artificial intelligence for development, innovation, and responsible digital transformation. So they have the 5 broad priority areas, which is to strengthen regional and international cooperation, to build AI capabilities and skills, and the third one, to stimulate public and private investment, and to hasten AI benefit for Africa's development, and just to minimize the risk and promote responsible AI. So various countries have been taking upon themselves to come up with their own national AI strategy. For example, we have our neighbor Zimbabwe, who has focused on an inclusive development, innovation, service delivery, and key sectors such as agriculture, health, education, and finance. Nigeria also came up with their own national strategy, focused on responsible, ethical, inclusive AI for economic growth, social development, and technological leadership, as well as Kenya and Egypt, which has focused on governance, data, infrastructure, and talent, technology, and ecosystem development. So these strategies were developed based on their own needs, based on the gaps they have identified. So what is, for those that do not know what a national AI strategy is, it's just a country's roadmap for how it will develop, adopt, govern, and benefit from artificial intelligence. So this will help the country decide now where should AI be used. Should it be in health, agriculture, so we'll still find out, and how AI should be governed to ensure that it's ethical, and what capacity must be built around the AI. And then the last one is how AI can support the economy. So how did the national strategy process emerge? First of all, it started with UNESCO recommendation on AI, on ethics for AI, for responsible AI. And then last year, the REM report was launched by UNESCO, which identified the national readiness gap and opportunities. And that's how now we got the need for a coordinated national artificial intelligence direction. So what is informing this whole AI the national AI strategy? It's the RAM report, which gave us the findings, the gaps, the opportunities, and the recommendations. And then, like I mentioned earlier, NCRST was ready to do the whole coordination. And there was a call for technical advisory committee members, which constitute of 210, if I'm not mistaken, experts, and the National AI Working Group from various sectors such as crime, NAST, UNAM, and many more. And then a desktop review and policy analysis was also conducted to identify global trends, stakeholder mapping, and institutional landscape. And then the fourth one is the national consultations and data collection, which happened through surveys, town halls, which happened in 6 regions, key informant discussions, focus groups, and thematic consultations. And then the final step is just to synthesize whatever we got out from this stakeholder engagement that is going to now inform the principles, the priorities that we have identified, the objectives, and the implementation actions. So what has been completed so far? Like I mentioned, the technical structures has been established, which constitute the tech members and the AI working group brought together to support the whole process, and the desktop review and policy analysis for national policies, institutional mandates, global trends, and African strategy, African AI strategy examples were also reviewed, and then the stakeholder consultation and data collection. So what's left now is just to do the whole data synthesis, whereby the input that came from the stakeholder engagement to identify the key themes, the strategic opportunities. So we are also going to have various drafting workshops to complete the draft, and then validation workshops with the National AI Working Group, and then the final Namibian National AI Strategy will surface. So this is really just a strategy that is rooted in Namibians' reality, shaped by the voices, experiences, and priorities of people living and working in Namibia. So it reflects Namibia's institutional, economic, and social and development realities. Like you can see that this is a co-production with the communities that are identifying the gaps, the opportunities. As you can see, they are showcasing whatever is coming out from the stakeholders' engagement. So far we only have emerging themes. These are not the final from the consultations. So number one key priority theme that is coming out is people and skills. So we need to build AI awareness around this whole AI topic, capacity building in terms of human leadership, readiness for responsible AI adoption. And the second one is infrastructure and data. Like we all know that Namibia is one of the data scarce regions, so we need to strengthen the digital and data foundation needed for the whole artificial intelligence development. And the fourth one is governance and trust, whereby we need to create an environment for a safe and ethical and accountable artificial intelligence. And the fourth theme is innovation and application to explore how artificial intelligence can support the national priorities, public services, industry, and economic growth. So these are the follow-up activities and approval processes. So, like I mentioned, we are still drafting the National AI Strategy, collaboration with the tech teams, National AI Working Group. So, what's left is just to do a validation workshop with the AI Working Group to get the input. Should we need to go back to the communities for more stakeholder engagement? And then the next one is just the national validation workshop with the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth Services, Art and Culture. And then now we need to now submit, they need now to submit to the National Planning Commission. And then the last point is just cabinet adoption, because this is a national activity. So these are the key messages. So how can we now move towards a responsible artificial intelligence future for Namibia? It's through this national AI strategy document, which is evidence-informed, built on the UNESCO REM report, text review, policy analysis, stakeholder mapping, and national consultations. And then it's nationally grounded, which is being shaped by the Namibian realities, priorities, institutions, sectors, and people and working in Namibia, so that we cannot see artificial intelligence as just a technology, but it's also about the capacity that we are building around it to ensure trust and economic development. And then the last goal is just for a responsible and inclusion artificial intelligence adoption. So Namibia's approach really is just to support the development while protecting the people, strengthening institutions, and building the national capacity. So I come to the end of my presentation. So if you have any comment, recommendation, you can talk to me so that we can finalize, get more input for the national AI strategy.